AI. During most of my life, AI was the spaghetti code that made these guys in Zelda impossible to hit and this guy to say, "You don't have enough scarabs." But now, it's much scarier. It's evolved into something much more threatening. Now, it's ascended to the stars of human emotion and entered the world of art. Okay, but let's pause for a minute and take some time to really define art. Oftentimes, art is talked about as a form of self-expression, and like all art, it speaks to the human condition. Yeah, that fish your cousin painted? That thing has seen some things, and we need to get that boy in therapy. Art is also very broad and encompassing, and there are traditional forms of art like painting, sculpting, writing, and even more modern forms like filmmaking. However, what separates legendary writers like Ray Bradbury from the random Joe Schmo who just generated Scooby-Doo x JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fanfiction?
How nice to see you, Scooby-Doo.
What about me? You could say I'm a visual artist, however, I could also just be kickflipping over some serious qualifications that a lot of people need in an artist. However, I really think that this is just history repeating itself, but on a much larger scale. Allow me to explain.
In the year 1917, a Frenchman by the name of Marcel Duchamp in New York City found meaning in something that many find to be ordinary. Or maybe something that your little brother keeps watching. A toilet. No, not that one, a urinal, with the words "Armand" written on it. The concept that Duchamp created was that of the ready-made art piece. However, depending on who you talk to, the impact of Duchamp's work has two main reactions. They either hate the work and dislike the lack of perceived effort that went into its creation, or the line of thought that Duchamp himself had. The idea that the choice to make an art is what makes it valuable and what gives it meaning. So does the effort matter, or does the intention matter?
Once again, place this line of thought on AI, as the perceived level of effort is considerably lower than that of a traditional art piece. After all, something like woodblock prints or sculptures take hours of planning and proper execution in order to properly pull off. Versus the AI art process, which is simply clicking generate and hoping the anime girl you made has normal looking anatomy. This is a debate that still plagues circles of art today. Like contemporary, for example. Pieces that are able of conveying extremely strong emotion, but are often perceived to be less effort-filled as other pieces. This isn't to take away from the skill of those artists at all. Each artist has their own workflow, whether that's drafting and sketching before finally moving on to the result, or finding the fifth fake PNG when making a video. We all have a process. Reeling it back, AI is as interactive as a tool as you want it to be. Programs like Stable Diffusion are often very hands-on and leave a lot of room for creativity, such as editing specific parts of an image or even upscaling them. You can even pair it with other softwares like Photoshop and even other AI models like ChatGPT to get even more descriptive with the prompts you give it. Combine that with existing models that are able to replicate existing styles and you can get some really good results. Technology is changing, and viewing new tech as the end of the world is only going to make things worse. People didn't just blow up their horses as soon as the car was rolled out. Traditional forms of art will still be around and most likely be sought after. However, the idea that you created it may be up for some debate for some people, as you're not involved with every step of the art-making process. However, that brings up a point that I find to be unique to AI art: the concept of accidental beauty. When we look at a piece of art, oftentimes we're impressed by the various intentional aspects of it. Using Tears of the Kingdom as an example, you might notice small things like NPCs running for cover when the rain starts, the billions of weapon fusions, the beauty of different landscapes, or even small musical nods like the one present in the house building minigame. All of these things were intentional design choices that are intended to improve your immersion in the world the developers have created. However, there's also something else that could greatly elevate your experience. This is called rocket smuggling. It's a mechanic that lets you gain ridiculous height and speed, and it is a complete accident on the developer end of things. When looking at this through a clear black and white lens, things like this can be viewed as a mistake. However, its unintentional nature is what makes glitches like these so special to so many people, and I could not think of a quality that better describes AI art. Oftentimes, when you're generating an image, the program will take your idea in a lot of different directions. It almost feels like you're co-writing with somebody and you kind of just have to play off of them. It's a unique workflow, and sometimes it won't work, but when it does, the payoff is great, and sometimes you're going to be presented with something you didn't even know that you wanted. And the combination of your ideas and the anticipation of what it will do with them is very exciting, at least to me. Or it will just generate a pair of boobs for you, and we need to talk about this. AI models are only as good as what you train them with, and the sheer amount of mature content that is pumped out by AI is quite frankly disgusting. I know I've made my fair share of jokes about mature content and things like that, but it's just ridiculous when working with AI. Now don't get me wrong, everyone is free to generate and do whatever they want. It's none of my business. However, when it gets to the point where I have a hard time finding a model that draws Mario because there are billions of freaking sexy Birdo models, I'm gonna be a little upset. That's not even bringing up the moral dilemma of deepfake images, or the idea of creating images of a real person doing something that they didn't do or didn't consent to doing. Like Obama dunking. However, there is some silver lining to this. The opportunity. AI puts the ability to create high-quality images, among other values, in the hands of regular people. This could lead to an increase in artistic expression, such as the upgrading of this art piece I made into this one. Like, the difference is staggering. This gives creators, even those that are financially unable to afford things needed for more traditional forms of art, a chance to at least put their work out there or express themselves in a fun way. They could even use programs like ChatGPT to learn new skills. Or it could just be used by people that are never going to see a woman undress unless they generate it. The overall point I'm trying to make with this video is that AI, like any tool, should be used in balance. Integrating it into existing workflows can be a genuinely healthy thing, but it can also lead to various moral dilemmas such as some of the ones listed on screen. I mainly wanted to put out a video that got people to think about this new amazing resource in a different way and just get people to look at it through a different lens. That being said, if you're still watching, you're awesome. And I want to know what your thoughts are about this topic. Please feel free to leave a comment expressing your opinions. And until next time, I'll catch you around.